Welcome to Christian News TY. My name is Sandra Coates. On May 5th, 2022, Williamsburg County Sheriff's Office deputies responded to 22 Railroad Avenue, located in the Kingstree area of Williamsburg County, in reference to a missing person. Upon arrival, deputies located the male victim deceased inside of a vehicle. This incident is being investigated by Williamsburg County Sheriff's Office. Please keep the family in prayer. On May 5th, 2022, hit-and-run accident on Long Street and Singleton Avenue. Please keep the injured person in prayer. Christian News TY at the State House. Bill involving search and seizure.
Next on the agenda, we have House Bill 4610, Search and Seizure, filed by Representative Tedder. All right, Representative Tedder, this is your bill. Go ahead and tell us what you want to know, what you want us to know about your bill. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. What this bill does is simply provides that the odor or smell of marijuana and or hemp alone, whether burnt or not, does not give an officer probable cause or reasonable suspicion to stop, search, seizure, or arrest. The reason that this is important is because now in many states, and particularly in South Carolina, hemp is legal here. We have, through the Department of Agriculture, licenses that go out to people to apply for hemp farming, to cultivate hemp. As you know, hemp has a flower product of it as well. It smells and looks very similar to marijuana. And then going further than that, you have products such as Delta 8 and certain CBD products that can exhibit the odor and resemblance of marijuana. This bill does not legalize marijuana. This bill does not prohibit a police officer from performing a DUI stop if they suspect someone of driving under the influence. So I do want to make that clear. This does not take away that if an officer feels that someone is driving erratically or they have suspicion of a DUI, they can certainly perform field sobriety tests, and then if they make an arrest for a DUI, obviously then they're allowed to search the vehicle. This is to stop officers from being able to just use the blanket statement that odor of marijuana was smelled, which then allows them currently to get access to the car, which I believe is an unreasonable search. To take it a little further, for example, if you are around people who may have been smoking marijuana, or say you live with a family member or you were somewhere where people were smoking and the smell got in your clothes, if you were being pulled over for speeding or something, you just because there's a smell does not mean that there's a criminal act being made. And so this is to protect people, particularly hemp farmers, and those who legally can cultivate this and travel with it, so that they're not subject to unreasonable searches. And so I ask that this subcommittee consider this bill and pass it out to protect people from unreasonable searches, because this is subjective. And the problem with this mainly is that in a court of law, and I'm a criminal defense attorney, it's impossible to prove whether or not an officer actually smelled marijuana because it's so subjective. However, they still have the option to do a DUI stop and perform field sobriety tests if need be. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Tedder, and thank you for letting us know your position on this bill and explaining it to us. I don't have anybody signed up to speak on this bill, but I know there's some others who are out in the audience who may want to speak on this bill. I think, Mr. Bruder, I saw that you raised your hand. If you would, please come up to the lectern, let us know who you are and who you're with, and tell us your position on this bill. Thank you.
Good morning, Jared Bruder, Executive Director, South Carolina Sheriff's Association. Sorry for not being able to get here on time to sign up. A little bit of traffic out there this morning, so I apologize for that. But we do have some concerns at the Sheriff's Association about House Bill 4610. As Representative Tedder mentioned, there are some agencies in South Carolina that are abiding by this policy. They do have some agencies that are going by odor alone is not sufficient to be able to equate the probable cause. However, we believe, because of the fact that marijuana itself is still illegal, to be in possession of marijuana is still illegal, we believe that actually to be in possession of plant form hemp is still illegal, that we still need that ability to be able to initiate that stop. Obviously, this legislation is looking at not only impaired driving or DUI stops, it's also looking at stopping of a person. And so we do feel like the discretion needs to be there for an officer to develop that case. The odor could be one factor, but there would also be other articulable facts that we need to be able to present to make a charge after that. Again, I know at least one Charleston County has this same policy as they have it currently, and we believe that it would be better because it is so subjective, it is so different based on the agency's policies, that it should be set in their policy rather than in the state statute. And obviously that may change if South Carolina agrees to embrace marijuana, which we hope they do not, but if they agree to embrace marijuana, then things may have to change. There are certainly appellate court decisions going on in Florida and other places because they have adopted marijuana in medical form. There are certainly things that are happening there that are kind of, the case law is evolving. But at this point, we believe that it would be best to be left in our policy rather than codified in statute. So I'll be happy to answer as any.
All right, thank you very much. Any of the members have any questions for Mr. Bruder? Do not appear to be any. Thank you very much. Any of the members have any questions for Representative Tedder? All right. And is there anyone else out there who would like to speak? Please come up, identify yourself and who you're with. Thank you.
I'm Kitty Sutton with the South Carolina Association of Criminal Defense Lawyers. I didn't sign up because nobody had signed up to speak on the bill, but I wanted to say that our organization does, we support this bill for the very reasons outlined by Representative Tedder, the sponsor of the bill. We also support the bill.
All right, thank you very much. Anybody have any questions for the speaker? No, thank you. Representative Rose.
Just briefly, just a comment. As I hear Representative Tedder speak about this bill, and I think about how this is being put into place by agencies across the state, I'm reminded of a law professor of mine that once said that our Fourth Amendment right to irrational or searches and seizures is being whittled away. And so as I've gone into practice, I've seen that to where, if there's not a search warrant being signed, if there's not an arrest warrant, we constantly see where a car is being followed for the most minor traffic violation to be pulled over, and then we smell something, and next thing you know, processes put in place, search warrants, arrest warrants are being skirted. And we do have a Fourth Amendment right against unreasonable searches and seizures, and my law professor was correct. It has been whittled away to nothing, and so I do think it is a good bill, and I understand where Representative Tedder is coming from. I don't know of any law enforcement training as to what the odor of marijuana smells like. I'd be curious to know how many people are searched where no marijuana is found, and I think the fact that there are agencies actually implementing this policy on their own shows the need for the statute itself. And so I've often said this, Mr. Chairman, I really enjoy serving on this committee, and this is the people's committee. And we have to, oftentimes we don't have lobbyists and other things coming before us, but we need to protect citizens' rights. And so I just want to say that, and I appreciate Mr. Tedder bringing this bill forward.
Thank you very much, Representative Rose, for what you said. Yes, this is a very important committee. I also like to make sure that sometimes when we have these bills that come up, that we do thoroughly vet them. And sometimes when there are some things that come up, take a little bit of time to look at them, make sure that we get these bills right, because they do become something that impacts the criminal laws. Do I hear a motion?
Move to adjourn debate.
Pending motion is to adjourn debate on House Bill 4610. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Ayes have it.